Hey you guys, how's it going? It's C-Stack. So I finally got my hands on the MCU Battles set. There were some unexpected delays with this one, but I finally got it. So I'll go ahead and open this guy up for you real quick so we can finally see it. Let's take a look at the box. So we have obviously Thor and Loki on the front, and this is the Earth. I can't even tell how many nines that is. So this is Volume 1, Issue number 4. Under the new release schedule, MCU Battles. So it says, this giant-size issue marks the dramatic entrance of the Marvel Cinematic Universe to Versus System 2 PCG. For the first time ever, play as your favorite on-screen characters with images straight from the movies. Relive the epic battles from your favorite Marvel movies with this oversized set that includes a full rulebook, counters, and basic location cards. Build your MCU deck from 200 all-new cards. And then we have some of the cards on there. Let me go ahead and open this up. It doesn't have the easy little tab like the smaller sets do. I've been pretty vocal about my dislike for some of the designs of these cards visually, but I actually am very excited for this because there's some really cool mechanics in here, so I am very excited to play with these. I don't want to be known as the guy who just hates on everything, so I am pretty excited about this. Alright, so here's our counters. And then we got heroes here. And our villains here. We got our MCU Battles rulebook. Up here real quick and see if there's anything interesting. I don't want to spend too much time on this. Basically just all the same stuff that's covered in the OG rulebook, I would assume, just with MCU stuff. So anyway, so that's cool. Let's start with heroes. Why not? Where's the little tab? There we go. Alright. So start off, we got Captain America. Much better than Captain America from the original set, I would say. Although, fun fact, you can't actually resolve this effect with this set, because his second ability is build for a yellow. If Black Widow, Hawkeye, Hulk, Iron Man, and Thor are on your side, you win the game. But there is no Hawkeye in this set. You have to wait for the MCU Heroes set to even be able to resolve that ability, but it's pretty cool. I rather like the artwork they chose for these. Obviously, I hate this the title of the movies that's on there, but you know, I guess they have to do that. But I like that for level 1 we have World War II Cap, and then he levels up into a level 2 modern day Cap, which is pretty cool. Here's a really cool design. So we got our Bruce Banner, who levels up into a level 2 Hulk. Super clever. That's the way it was always should have been, probably. It's to take full advantage of the main character level 1, level 2 mechanic. This is really, really cool. So he's a puny little 0-1 at level 1, but he's a genius, and then he turns into a gigantic 8-8 at level 2, but he's, I guess the opposite of genius would be he's stupid. You can't draw cards. That's what they should call it. They should just say Hulk is dumb. He's a rage monster. Pretty cool card. I really like this one, Iron Man. I like drawing cards, so at level 2, let's see if I can get to focus in. This turn, whenever you play a card, you draw a card. Super, super cool. I also like that he's got his crappy armor at level 1, and then his good armor at level 2. Once again, very, very cool use of the level up thing. So we got our Star-Lord, where he can, at the end of your turn, you may start a dance-off. If you win, Star-Lord gains an XP. I don't remember exactly how dance-off works. It's in the rulebook, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. What else does this thing do? I don't remember. Stun a character attacking Star-Lord unless it or a character with the same name has attacked him in a previous combat this game. That's okay, I guess. I don't know. I haven't tested with any of these at all, so time will tell. Here's one of the last cards we finally saw. So we have Thor main character. His level 1 artwork is pretty boring, but it kind of goes with the flavor of what I was talking about, where he's, just little old outcast Thor, can't do anything at level 1, then levels up into a big Thor. Kind of sucks he doesn't have flight, but I get that they're going for the whole Thor Ragnarok thing, lost his hammer. So this card's pretty cool. I don't know how good it will be because he's got a pretty specific level up condition. Oh, it went out of focus. So you have to, come on. When Thor has done each of these in order, he gains an XP. He has a solo attack, then team attack with exactly one other character, then team attack with exactly 2 characters. So that's pretty specific. And then he turns into a big ol' 6/6 level 2 Thor, which has, come on, let me see here, which has basically a super lightning blast from the other Thor main character. You can put 6 -1 counters on a main character, the biggest lightning blast in the history of lightning. This is pretty cool. Depending on how consistently you can hit that level up, I think that's really good. So now we're into the support characters. So we have our Baby Groots. Our Baby Groot, who, when you power up Baby Groot, you put an extra 5 +1 counters on him, so he becomes a, what is that? So he gets the one you normally get plus an extra 5, so he's a 7/7 total. That's pretty cool. Can you imagine playing this with Call in your deck? Be insane. We have, like, the best card in the set. The, like, only reason to play MCU right now is Heimdall. Spend any amount of recruit points, search your deck for a character with that cost or less, and put it onto your side. This card is insane. This is like the #1 reason why I wouldn't want to play in a format that mixed illustrated with cinematic, or photographic, I guess. So we got Black Widow, 2 cost. So she is for a red. Come on, focus in. Come on. Choose an enemy player to reveal their hand. Choose a card in it other than a character and discard it. That's pretty good discard effect. This Rocket Sporting character is one that has like the really weird wording on it. So build yellow. Choose an enemy player and 2 cards with different names in your KO pile. If you do, they choose one and put it in your hand. I feel like there's probably an easier way to word that, but okay. It says, oh, I was just kidding about the leg. Oh, no, each one has the same quote. I was hoping maybe like what is it, She-Hulk and Deadpool, that they would all have a different quote, but that's still pretty cool. And we have, once again, another Cap who's much better than his illustrated counterpart. So he's got leader, and then I can do this all day. I love the use of the movie quotes as powers. This combat, if Cap gets stunned, he doesn't get wounded, and when he gets stunned, recover him, then ready him. So basically he can attack twice, even if he gets stunned back. That's very cool. This is one of the ones I was really complaining about with the artwork, because, like, so here's Falcon, and he doesn't even have his wings out in the artwork. He's in freefall. I really feel like they had access to at least one other shot of Falcon where he was actually flying, but whatever. So he's a 6/3 with flight, and characters with flight can't strike Falcon. So that's pretty cool. Here's another card I really like because I like drawing cards. So we got 3-drop Nick Fury, the Avengers Initiative. When you recruit another hero character this turn, the first time each turn, draw a card. Sorry about that. And yeah, he's got that bring another group of remarkable people quote on all of them. Here's another insane card. I love this card. He's a genius. Iron Man is a genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist. So you draw a card, genius. Gain a recruit point, put a +1 counter on Iron Man, and put a +1 counter on another character. They just like started giving him things, and they just didn't stop. That card seems insane. I bet it's going to be good. Here's another card that I'm not sure about. So Star-Lord is a 4-drop, 3/6 flight, half celestial. Star-Lord can't be KO'd while a main character is face up on your side. This power remains on while Star-Lord is face down. Star-Lord can still get stunned and wounded. Yeah, so that seems okay. His stats are a little low for a 4 cost. I mean, he has high defense, but... Oh, this is a really good card. I love this card. 5-drop Gamora. She's warrior and assassin. So warrior is when Gamora stuns an enemy attacker, put 2 +1/+1 counters on her, and when she stuns an enemy defender for assassin, put 2 +1/+1 counters on her. So she's only a 5/5 on 5, which is pretty low, but she can get pretty big. Another kind of boring artwork. I feel like there was any number of action shots you could use for Gamora, but she's just cleaning her sword. That's all good, though. War Machine. So for a blue, you bring out the big guns. KO a supporting character with attack less than War Machine. So for a 5 cost at 4 attack, that's pretty low. But if we get more MCU cards that can pump you up, like maybe if down the road we get some MCU equipments, this card might be able to do some pretty cool stuff. So he's got fight and range, which is pretty cool and pretty... I don't know how great his 7 defense is for a 5-drop. And then we have 6-drop Drax. So Finger on the Throat means death. When Drax wounds a supporting character in melee combat, KO it. So it's basically lethal without being lethal. The important distinction between this ability and lethal is that lethal you have to be on the attack, whereas with Finger on the Throat you can still do it on the defensive. So if they attack into you and you strike them back, it's basically lethal on the defensive. So that's pretty cool. Pretty good. Oh, this card I really like. So we have 6-drop support character Thor. He's leader, and then he's the new king. So for a main, in the main for a yellow, you can put a +1 counter on Thor for each character he's protecting, so he can potentially get really big. Oh my gosh! Speaking of getting really big, we have the ultimate get really big guy right here. We have 7-drop Hulk. This card is crazy. So he's a 7/7 with 3 wounds. But for a green, you can choose any number, and Hulk gains that much attack and defense. So you can choose 700,000 or 14,703,000 or whatever it is, and that's how much Hulk gains. And he's 3 wounds, and that's just, this card seems bonkers to me. And it has awesome artwork, so kudos to them there. Gladiator Hulk. And we have all our one-of-a-kind boys. So we have 1-drop Peggy Carter is one of a kind. If your main character is Captain America and he gets stunned, he doesn't get wounded. That's pretty cool. We have, what is this, Eric Selvig. So if when a main character on your side named Thor attacks, draw a card. I like drawing cards. Here we go. We got Happy Hogan. At the end of your turn, if Iron Man is a main character on your side, you may turn one of your face-down locations face up. That's really good. We have General Ross. He says, help the green one. When a main character on your side named Hulk attacks the first time each turn, at the end of the combat, ready him. So that's pretty cool, because Hulk is a real big dude, so you can attack twice. Okay, here's where the heroes really shine. They got some good plot twists. So we have the Sokovia Accords, and it's any turn combat, remove all +1/+1 counters from each enemy character in the combat. So this is a lot like Even the Odds. It's kind of an Even the Odds. It's kind of a better Even the Odds in that it hits every character in the combat, but it's also kind of a worse Even the Odds because it only affects counters, not other pumps like something like Mercs for Money or something like that. But this card is really, really good. And then like probably my favorite plot twist in the set is No You Move. It's any turn combat, choose a character on your side in the combat to get +3 defense this combat. At the end of combat, you may move an enemy character in the combat to its front or back row. So it's like a better find cover. And then the only quote-unquote generic plot twist in the set is he's a friend from work, which is another really good card. Awesome artwork as well, very cool. If all characters in the combat are good, they're all evil, cancel the combat. Otherwise, choose a character in the combat to get +2/+2 this combat. So it's like Think Again and Earth's Mightiest Heroes smushed into one card. And it is important to note that it is Marvel stamped, it's not team stamped, so you can use it in any Marvel deck so long as it is photographic, because again, you can't mix the universes, but it's a very good card. Probably one of the few staple 4-of cards, I would say, right now for any photographic deck. And then we have our location. So we have 4 Avengers Tower. Whoops, let me pick those guys up. So we have 4 Avengers Tower. We have 4 Laboratory with Tony and Bruce's The Hulk's Lab from Age of Ultron. Some of those. And our academy is Doctor Strange training at, I don't remember the name of that place because I'm not a true fan apparently. Alright, so that's that stack. Let's bust open this villains pack here. If I can get it open. This is going to be one of my longer openings. Alright, so we have the Abomination. So some of these cards I'm reading and some I'm not, but what does he do? He's the one who wants to goad your opponent into a fight. So at level 2, you choose an enemy player. At the end of their next formation step, move a character on their side to its front row. That player's first attack that turn must include the character attacking Abomination, if able. So, like in the movie, he wants to fight Hulk. He just wants to be the strongest. He wants to goad one of your dudes into fighting. Now, this is my favorite guy. I am going to complain about his artwork a little bit, so be ready for that. But Ironmonger, which lets you recruit dudes from your opponent's KO pile. This is awesome. Although, if you'll notice here that Ironmonger, the character, Obadiah Stane, is not in his level 1 artwork. It's called Ironmonger, but he's not there. Here's an empty Ironmonger suit, and that's just some random engineer. So there's that. And then at level 2, he looks pretty good, except I don't know why they didn't use the shot where he's pointing the arm cannon at Pepper, because that would have been objectively cooler, but still really cool. Excited to play that. We got Loki here, who has one of the worst level up conditions in the game, I would say, where your opponent can basically just say that you never, ever, ever get to level. But still pretty cool, I guess. You can read that if you want. Here's the dude that's probably going to dominate any photographic-only tournaments, because with only 2 team affiliations, it seems pretty good to me. So his level up is when an enemy card with a team affiliation appears, Ronan gains 1 XP for each face-up card with that affiliation on that side. So in a format with all sets where there's like 20 plus team affiliations, that kind of blows, unless you're playing against a mono deck. But if you're playing in just a photographic tournament, right now there's only 2 team affiliations, heroes and villains, and that goes for his level 2 power as well, where name a team affiliation, look at an enemy player's hand, and discard up to 2 cards with that team affiliation. So, if I were playing in a photographic MCU whatever tournament at Gen Con, I would probably play Ronin. Here's this thing, which is way worse than I thought, because I thought you only had 1 level 1, but you got to go through your 3 level 1 Ultrons, and then your 2 level 2 Ultrons, and then your 1 level 3 Ultron, and by then you probably lost the game. But if you didn't, you can do this crazy ability where each enemy player lifts all their cards thousands of feet into the air and then drops them into the KO pile. What a cool design. This is absolutely awesome. As I was saying, I don't think it's very playable because you got to go through all this. But if you can pull it off, man oh man, would that feel good. Very, very cool design. Here's the other best card in the set. I keep saying that. So Killian is a 1-cost 1/1, but for a green you put 3 +1/+1 counters on another character. It's any character, including your main character. This card is probably a staple as it stands, since there's such a limited card pool, and this is just a free, almost free, just make your main character huge. So that seems pretty good. I'm going to complain a little bit about this artwork. Look how blurry that is. So Whiplash is a 1-drop 2/2. Put a -1/-1 counter on an enemy character. If it's in the back row, move it to its front row. You can't even really tell that this is a whip. I don't know. Anyway, this card it seems pretty good. Oh, here's probably the best 2-drop. So Crossbones can only attack main characters, but he's a 5/5 on 2, so that's pretty cool. Pretty good card. Here's a fun card. Did I get an extra, Trevor? I think I did. I think this is extra. Alright, so we have the Mandarin, who when he's KO'd, you move him from the game, and then you randomly take a thing from your behind the camera pile. I think it's just supposed to be 1 Trevor Slattery, who's basically just a blank card, and 1 10 Rings, which is a 10/10. You guys can let me know if it's supposed to come with 2 Trevor, or if I just got an extra Trevor, which is cool. I like my Ben Kingsley. So yeah, so these are pretty cool. I'll let you read those if you want. I don't think there's supposed to be 2 of those though, but that's pretty cool. Let me hope I didn't get gypped a card. We have Destroyer. I don't remember what this does. Combat blue. Destroyer gets +5 attack this combat. That's pretty cool. He's a 3-cost who potentially has 10 attack. Oh, here's a really cool card. Oh, and then the next card is really good too. So Nebula is a 3-drop with Rivalry, so when Nebula appears, name a character. Nebula gets +4/+4 while in combat against supporting characters with that name. So it's only supporting characters, but if you need to get over a dude, Nebula can get you there. Now here's the worst artwork in the game, probably. if this is probably the worst thing they could have chosen. Like, it's just a close-up on his face, and it's really, really blurry. This is right after Tony smacked him in the head because his suit froze over. Any picture of Ironmonger from the movie would have been better than this one. But this card is insane. So he is a 4-cost, flight and range 5/5, and he's the Golden Goose. He's got the Golden Goose. So for a bit, and during your build for a yellow, you can choose another player. You can recruit characters from their KO pile this turn. So it's a reverse Valkyrie. I think this card is really, really good, even though it's hideous. Then we have a 4-drop Ronin, who's basically an Extinguish, I think. So main for green, KO a face-down enemy supporting character. That's pretty good, except he's got really low attack. Here's a really good card. So the Chitauri Leviathan, spelled different than the other Leviathans, interestingly enough, because Marvel in the comics likes to spell Leviathan wrong. So he's got swarms, so you can have any number of them. And then for a red, you can ready another villain's character, and it has flight this turn. So make a dude attack twice, and you can give it flight, which is always cool. Oh, here's a really cool card. Love this card. So Malekith is a 6/7 on 5, and you can, for a yellow, remove an enemy hand from the game face down. At the end of the turn, put those cards back into that player's hand. So basically, just take out any chance of them messing with you in combat or whatever for that turn. Just eliminate that possibility. Here's a crazy card that's going to lead to a lot of loops and stuff. So we have Abomination. He's monstrous, so he strikes against all defenders during a team attack. And when another character gains 1 or more +1 counters, you may put a +1 counter on Abomination. So if I have an Abomination and my opponent has Abomination, they will continue to ping off each other infinitely until we decide to stop it. So this guy can potentially be enormous. Oh, here's a very good card. Is 6-drop Red Skull. So I have seen the future and there are no flags. Enemy players can't play equipment, locations, or plot twists that have team affiliations. So he's basically a Kobik that doesn't have horrible stats. He's got big defense. He's got range. This is like a better Kobik. He is on 6 though, but I think this card is really good. That's a really good card. So we have 7-drop Loki. He's the one where once per turn, anytime you would play in any turn combat plot twist, you may discard a character card to give a character in the combat plus attack and plus defense equal to the discarded card's costs. So that's kind of cool. I think it's kind of lackluster compared to a lot of the other high drops in here, like I don't know, like Hulk or like Red Skull or something. Oh, this card is great though. This is one of the best cards in the set. So we have 4-drop Winter Soldier, who's a 4/4 with range. He's got 2 wounds. He's a hero and villain, which is really cool. So he's got synergy with both teams. And he's Combat Master, so they can't play plot twists. And he has awesome artwork. As awesome as it could be with a picture on it, but you know what I mean. Alright, so then we go into the villain's plot twists, which, in my opinion, are not nearly as good as the hero plot twists, but we will see. So I have an army. So you put a +1/+1 counter on each supporting character on your side. So just kind of a more generic loyal soldiers. So that's a pretty good card. That's solid. This one is the one I'm not sure on. I'm not so sure on yet. We'll see. I like drawing cards. I've said that before. But alright, so 2 more grow in its place. So any turn combat, choose a defender on your side to get +2 this combat. If it gets KO'd this combat, draw 2 cards. So it's kind of a weaker Savage Surprise, but you also get the added benefit of drawing a card. I don't know about this one. Seems a little lackluster to me. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. And then Sokovia is the villain location. Not sure why. It's only in one movie. Most villains don't go there, and the artwork is pretty terrible. But it is what it is. So we have some more yellows. 2 more yellows. Okay. We have a Hydra Fortress, which is pretty cool on our green. That is pretty cool. And this is my favorite one. We got Captain America doing some training on the training grounds. Anyway, yeah, so that's very cool. So I complained a bit about the artwork in this set, as you heard, but I actually am very excited to play with these. I think there's some really cool designs, mechanic-wise, in this set. I think by splitting the universes, which made a lot of people mad, I think it actually increased their design space, let them do some kind of fun, crazy things that they wouldn't have been able to do otherwise, and I really appreciate that. So I am very excited to try this out. Anyways, so thanks for watching, guys. I will be at Origins next week, so I'm going to try to record some content for you guys from that, so look forward to that. And sorry for the super long opening video, and thank you guys for watching. Bye.